Hello, everybody, to Season 10, Round 4 of Dago Sim Racing here at Zolder. Known for its short tracks, its chicanes, and its terrifying curbs. You join us now as the bronze drivers have started their outlaps for their qualifying session. We're looking at a 55-minute race this week with only a single stop required for fuel, no tyres required. I'm being told sound, because ACC audio is mucked up. Ah. Well, as I fix this, I'm joined today by our steward, as always, Paul. No, sorry, Phil Walker. I'll get that right one day. Yeah. All right. Well, debug why we cannot hear the game sound. We are live. We just have no game sound. It's perplexing. New. Aston just cracks with every downshift, as we discovered at Brad's Hatch. Okay. Let's try. Oh, ACC was producing sound. It's just very quiet. I wonder if that's helped. Let's see. I'm just gonna test levels. My voice seems okay. Don't know why ACC had suddenly got so quiet, but hopefully sound now. Gabe, can you please confirm we have sound? Oh, yeah, it might not be picking you up. Yeah, but that's because I was saying it. Right, it might have lost the window for Discord. Right, say something, Phil.
Hey guys, how you doing? We are going to sort this out any second.
There we go. Right, we have Phil. We have me. We have engine sound. One of these weeks, this will just work. But it's not
First
this
time out.
week.
Nope, nope. And there's only 1 week after this week, right? Have we just been building up to a perfect final race?
uh...
The bronzes have done a couple of laps now. Matt Gale is the guy on top. He's a quarter of a tenth quicker next to his fastest competitor, Mr. Pordy.
Definitely. Okay. Yes. We should probably watch someone else.
Let's just stick with Matt. Matt was brilliant last week at
Yeah,
Nürburgring. He was holding everybody.
He is on pole at the minute for the bronzes. Let's just check in with Powdy Mull. His nice green car. Why do I get the feeling I'm missing a livery? unless he's just gone for, I am driving a mint green car and that's what I'm doing.
I made a conscious. I downloaded the packs this week, just gone after having not for the last few weeks, and it is green, but it does have some stripes.
Okay. Well, I apologize, Powdy. Right, let's check in now with Menno Deckers in the Lamborghini. Makes his way around the track. I try and remember the corner names. I'm very well prepared this week.
Corner names are overdone anyway. Just make them up.
That's corner. Well, we have recently, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're all in. Is it in Flemish?
You just googled them.
They look Flemish. They look like I like Dutch, but not Dutch. So I'm not going to attempt that. Not going to attempt that. Instead, why don't we talk about standings? As Dieter van der Brandt, Van Brabant, Van Trabant, Dieter van Trabant takes pole from Matt Gale and collects a sign. Sign indeed. So, as we're talking about the bronze class, let's go through the bronze class standings. So Dieter van Brabant leads, 199 points, followed by Matt Gale. Then Menno Dekkers takes third. Howdy Moles fourth. Don Speak English fifth. Mario Mariano sixth. Matt Keys seventh. Andy Hillier eighth. Rory Kilby ninth. And Jacob Hale 10th. And they keep going and going.
Yeah, it's all about the top 4, I reckon, in the bronze cast. Dieter van Brabant does have a chunk of a lead, but then Matt, Menno, and Pordy not that far behind them. Should be an important couple of last races here.
Yeah, it's still within range. That just one bad race from Dieter and suddenly Matt Gale quite easily take first. It's not all locked in yet.
Nope.
Which is good. Because if it was locked in, then we'd be talking about someone being in silver class instead.
Damn right, yeah.
Let's see, who's on a fast lap? Well, Dieter's on a fast lap. He's up half a second off his best time. He makes his way through the final chicane now. Always quite tricky, these chicanes. Because some you can take a lot of curbs, some you can not take a lot at all.
No. And sometimes it feels like it varies lap to lap on the same chicane.
Yeah. I think it's something about how much rubber's left behind or something.
Yeah.
See, who can we curse with a... Well, Menno Dekkers, unfortunately, is not doing so well this lap. He's down 4/10. But he was down 4/10 before I looked at him.
I just think your commentators' curses are getting so good, they're hitting the drivers before you've even thought about it.
I'll take credit for that. Mario Mariano in Apple Mario. The fantastic team name. And livery. In the Bentley. Just about matching his previous time. Not really gaining a whole lot as it stands at the minute. Looking to see if we'll get any changes right now, because Dieter is most definitely holding the lead quite comfortably. Oh, Mario's not even going to finish this lap. Okay. Menno Dekkers is just coming out the pits for probably what will be his final out lap and hot lap. We'll catch back up with him in a minute. Matt Gale of Lap and Chops is doesn't have a green delta anymore. But he's still close enough that he could.
Yeah, just absolutely send it at this chicane and could be back on.
Well, there is one driver with a very green delta right now. That's Matt Keys, who is just making his way up to the final chicane now at speed. I go on board with him as he comes through the final chicane. Goes up into second. What a climb, and he's going straight into the dirt. What an improvement, though. I think
That was a hell of a lap, yeah.
He was down from 6th into 2nd. No doubt Matt Gale's feeling a little bit nervous now. He's 2nd overall in the standing, but he's 5th on track at the minute.
Yeah. What Matt has had going for him this season, though, is his consistency.
Yeah.
He'll stick it out and he'll gain a few places that way.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we must be getting towards the end of the Bronze class soon.
Silver's be heading out in just a few seconds. You're right.
In fact, I think I just spied one out. Nope, I was incorrect. Waiting to see if they move. Right, we've got a couple of green deltas on track at the moment. Menno Deckers that's definitely not going to stay green, mate. as he spins out before I even look at him.
I'm telling you. Precursors.
Yes.
Yeah. Talking about precursors, I was just being warm words about Matt Gale. I've just realised he's got a 15-second success penalty this week, so he'll both be not having a great starting position by the looks of it, and an extra 15 seconds in the pits.
It's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah.
At least he gets a couple of minutes. Well, not a minute. Quarter of a minute to think about doing something. They're not actually doing it. But we've got Silvers on track now. As they're being led around by Dave White on their final outlaps. We're just looking at now. Powdy Mole is just finishing his last lap. And he's marginally up at the minute. And it's so close. We're talking about less than 1/10 of a second. In fact, might just be about to match his time. And he pretty much does. That's the bronze class. So we've got Dieter Van Brabant, Matt Keys, Menno Deckers, Powdy Mole, Matt Gale, Mario Mariano, and Don't Speak English. And on come the silver drivers. And I believe the first one out on a hot lap is Dave White of the Not So Fast Furious, which is missing a word team.
Now, if you want close, the silver class is where it is at. Never mind those fast boys showing off at the front. The top 5 in the silver class separated by less than 10 points. It's anybody's.
Well, let's talk about those standings as they come out onto their fight on their first hot lap. So, Jamie Armitage is leading the silver class with 206 points. Glenn Kirk in second, followed by Thomas Pichon in third. And you are right, it's very, very close. There is less than 5 points between first and third. There's only 8 points between first and fourth, which is Eddie Wilkins. And David Lolek, once again, charging his way up the field. I remember he was in bronze last season, and he's now 5th overall in silver.
Yeah.
Followed by Bruceus. And Pavel Josvik. And quickly, Dave White's coming across the line. He sets a 130.6, which puts him overall in 7th. Kind of hard to... I mean, that's... Probably still hasn't warmed the tyres all the way up.
Yeah.
Ooh, Thomas Pichon came into 3rd. Very good first lap. And let's...
Yeah, you always know it feels good when on your first flying lap you beat the vast majority of the class that went out before you.
Yeah.
If you can be on time with their fast guys straight away, you know you're doing all right.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. Between 1st and 6th in class, there is only 13 points difference.
Yeah, it's really close. There's been some really good races in there. It's very hard to predict as well.
Yeah, but we're seeing two drivers right now. They're really pushing a second off their best, or the previous lap, which is Dave White of the not-so-fast Furious team. And Bruce Oos of Frites and Baguette. Of course, half the team now at one of their home tracks. In fact, we're staying in Belgium for the next race as well. We're going to Spa. Dave White just then sets a 129.255, which is still 2.43 seconds off Dieter van Brabant's time. We still haven't kicked the bronze class out first, guys. Not trying to call you out at all.
I'm not quite sure whether you're calling out the Silvers for not being quick enough yet, or Dieter for being sandbagging son of a gun down in bronze.
Why not both?
Yes.
Why not both? So, Jamie Armitage setting a respectable 4/10 gain on his previous lap. And if he keeps this, he will go into first. Well, that is the pressure put on. That is the curse has been cast. And now watch as he spins out on the final chicane. Gonna get a preemptive, not my fault.
Doesn't work like that.
Well, here he comes into the final chicane. He's taken a very smooth line. He has not span out. He's up 3/10 of a second. He goes into first. For once. Didn't completely fuck him.
You don't get this in the F1.
Yeah. We might occasionally. Depends if James Hunt was commentating.
True.
Not in modern F1.
Wusses, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to catch up with Bruce Oos, currently in 11th, but almost 4/10 up. Come on, Bruce. Just a couple. There we go, 4/10 up. No, you've lost it again. No, Bruce. What are you doing? Schnell. Yes, I know you're not German. Very aggressive line through those chicanes. But he gets him good amount of time. He's now almost half a second up. Seems like he responded. Through yet another tight corner. This lap can be, I mean, this track can be very frustrating if you like driving quickly in straight lines or like sweeping turns. There are none. Or maybe at best one.
Yeah, just some really annoying. Even the sort of mid-tier, like turns 1, 2, and 3 that look fairly simple. I mess them up time and time again when I'm doing it. This one here, off in the sand before you know it.
Yeah. Man, I feel for Bruce. He gained 4/10 and he didn't even gain a single position. And it looks like Alexander Goncalves will do something similar. He's 7/10 up. He's probably had a really rough first lap. Beautiful yellow and red BMW. Comes across the line and he jumps from 13th to 6th. So he finds the time. I just want to highlight that Pavel Josvik has now come into first. And he's still up on his previous lap. You can see his tyres really struggling to hold him onto the road.
Although it's good to see that after your pep talk, some of the Silvers have now pulled the finger out and have beaten Dieter's time.
Yeah, can't have them, you know, resting on their laurels.
No.
going to join Pavel on board. 210 kilometers per hour as he comes into this chicane. As always with any motorsport, it's not how quickly you can go, but how hard you can brake. It really makes a difference.
Very true. And whether you can get all four tyres off the ground at the first chicane, that helps as well.
Yes. If you go literally flying over, it's not a track cut. Despite our suggestions, the track safety officer refused our suggestion of building a ramp.
If you're flying through the air, there's no friction, right? So it's like science that it's faster.
Yeah. And none at all. You just...
Yep.
Eddie Wilkins comes in on a pretty big improvement, actually. He goes from, I think, about 11th into 6th. That's how tight the times are becoming now, that even a 2/10 gain is 5 positions. But I think most drivers have started to kind of settle into their final positions now. One exception could be Ryan Greenaway, who's of T and Tapas Motorsport Pro. Sadly not. As he gains time, but not a position. It seems 12th is the cursed position. Right. Coming up on 12 minutes to go. Looks like our pros will be coming out really shortly now. And I always
like to see which pros are trying to sneak to the front of the pits, ready to get out first. Gabe has won the competition this week.
He has. I mean, look at that traffic jam.
Yeah.
You know, at what point are we going to start incorporating it into the steward rules? If you go across the pit line before you leave, you know, I can see the lights there, and Gabe is quite clearly in front of it.
Yeah.
Stop-go penalty?
Yeah, I at least.
They make their way out onto their outlaps. And it's Thomas Pichon, I think, has got the silver pole position now. I don't think it's particularly likely that anyone's going to pip him for that. Even Pavel.
Thomas Pichon, who I believe won the silver category last week at Nürburgring, so he'll have his 15 seconds, but he will actually be starting at the top of the tree.
Very interesting. He did indeed win last week. So last week's winners in silver were Thomas Pichon, Glenn Kirk, and Bruce Oos in the poll for the silvers. But now we're looking at the golds. And it's Rich Gasson is currently holding the championship in the Ferrari. Gabe Halker in second, Darren Menzies in third, Roman Fralla in fourth, and Cormac Quinn in fifth. Followed by Michael Stevens, Lee Hems, Marit Dvorak, Nick Golding, and Carlos Barros. Not quite as close, the standings in the golds.
Nah, boring. Let's just watch the silvers.
Also, probably worth talking about the teams. So we've got the not-so-fast Furious team in the BMW GT3, which is Dave White and Roman Fralla, followed by cracking pair of Ed Wilkins and Lee Hems. Reets and Baguettes, Thomas Pichon and Bruce Oos. And fourth, Lamb Chops, Matt Gale, Marit Dvorak in the Lamborghini Huracan. Tuga Motorsports of Carlos Barros and Alexander Goncalves, both Portuguese, in the M4 GT3. The Flying Dutchmen, Stephen Kral and Menno Dekkers. Dondas Racing, just Darren Menzies and don't speak English. Surprise, surprise. Safety first, Nick Golding, Matt Keys. Tapas and T, Ryan Greenaway and Javier Farre, our conductor. And in 10th is Snails Pace Racing, Rory Kilby and Michael Stevens. In the Porsche 911. I'll tell you what, we haven't seen as much Spinala from Stevens this season, have we?
No, I almost said he's turned a corner, and he turns lots of corners and comes out the other side of them, still going in the right direction, which is frankly quite disappointing.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, he's got his waist. He won in Kota this season as well, didn't he?
He did.
He's having an annoyingly good season, which is, ruining opportunities for poking fun at him.
Yeah, I know. He's actually started using traction control and the ABS, and he still runs wide in corner 1. But he's still doing it. Oh, it looks like we've now got some times on the board. James Hartnell of Baggy Fanny Racing takes pole. And then we've got Paul Sadlowski of RTO Racing Team. So it looks like these guys, as you mentioned, they're pretty fast. Pretty fast.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a alien infestation, I think, this last couple of weeks.
Now the question is, where is Hacken Roholt gone?
Yes.
We miss you.
Come back.
Even more impressive is Paul. We're seeing him even up now 0.5 of a second on his previous time, which will pretty much put him into P2 at the minute. Not all that surprising.
No, those guys will do 27s, I reckon, by the end of this qualifying. I think a 26 is probably pushing it, but you never know.
Yeah, well, they get the benefits of all that rubber, don't they?
Yes.
Which didn't work in their favour last week.
No, got washed away.
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic time for rain. As I mentioned in the chat, so often we see the pro drivers benefiting from the track drying out during a wet session. Well, the Nürburgring came round to spoil all that fun.
Yeah, that was it. Brilliant weather. Dry forecast this week. See how it goes.
We've got a couple of drivers now improving on their time. James Hartnell is he's just doing a moderate improvement. He's up about 1/10 of a second, which is very close to going into the 27s. And Paul Sadlowski is up 0.3, which will just about take him into the 27s as well. So I think that prediction is going to certainly start ringing true. Some of our other drivers are a bit further down the field. Nick Golding is 22nd, but he is starting to improve his time. Carlos Barros is up in 20. He's down in 24th. He's off the track. That's not how that corner goes. And talking of, Paul Sadlowski just now goes into first with a 1:27.972. I want to believe. Cape Halker of no encouragement. Up 0.3 in the 911. Gotta go fast. So I've got a question for you, Phil.
Far away.
So often on these broadcasts, we've asked, who is 426? But tonight, the question is, where is 426?
The mysterious person is showing a distinct lack of commitment. I think is all we can surmise from this.
Do you think we can get David Lolek to record a new new clip for us?
We need David to call him out. Like WWE sort of.
Where is 426?
Yeah.
Half expecting him to show up in the chat now, just being like, I'm right here, you bastards. Like every time I mention the name Toby Larone, I find out he's actually watching.
He's always watching. Just waiting to get pinged and then come on over.
Yeah, or Raiola. But back on the track, Darren Menzies now up 4 tenths, and he just goes into 6th. Just like that. Still seeing a battle up front. Paul Sadlowski is battling himself to try and get even further into the 127s. James Hartnell is trying to push, see if he can gain enough time to get pole position back. If nothing changes, he certainly will, but the problem is that Paul Sadlowski is also gaining time. He's just gone 127.8. But it might well be that James actually picks this up. As he comes up to the finish line, it's going to be really close. He does. Ooh. By 2 thousandths of a second. That is close.
Yes.
That is millimeters of bumper of lead. And what's, all Paul's got to do now is do his best lap a tiny bit faster. Which I know he's asking. I know he's asking for a lot, but like normally we talk about tenths of a second. No, Paul's got to do 100th of a second quicker.
Yeah, he could just like stick some kind of stick to the front of his car and then
get the engineers to just push the splitter forwards.
Also, I don't mean to sound bitter, but I am slightly enjoying Daz, Rich, Roman and Gabe being half a tenth off the pace, because now they know what it feels like.
Yes, well, we've seen many of a season of them really struggling with pace, and now it's starting to look like we need a platinum class.
Yeah.
Which I guess they're really supposed to be pro. Oh, no, they're golds, weren't they? I'm sure we had a platinum class one season.
I think you're right, because the website's set up with a platinum class as well.
Yeah. Go back through previous seasons. There's a platinum. Ah, yes. Season 6 we had a platinum class. Wonder why that was. Not sure. Because we just had a lot of people racing.
Yeah. Paul Sadlowski's just gone onto his final flying lap. James is quicker.
Well, it's not good news for Paul at the minute. He's down 0.2 of a second. looking.
Ooh.
Oh, so many drivers have been caught out there.
Yeah.
So many drivers, that just hurts. So I think it's James Hartnell's got this locked. He's going into the pits. He has got pole position, so we've got a front. We've got a silver. Sorry, silver class has been kicked all the way back down to P8. Behind Gabe Hauke, but even then, they are only perhaps a couple of 500ths of a second behind that.
Indeed. Well, I'm just going to nip to the loo ahead of having to try and type in all the success penalties. Be back in a sec.
All right. So there we have our overall standings. So we'll have a short break and then we will go straight into the race. Grab a drink. Have a good time. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome back, everyone. We have got 30 seconds until we race start. As you see, the drivers are making some last-minute changes to their setup. As you can see, the cars bouncing off their jacks. Everyone's preparing now. We've got a green flag. Very, very shortly. Seems some of the stewards have preempted that and are just waving green flags continuously anyway. But we have James Hartnell in pole, Paul Sadalaki in second place on the left of your screen. And then Darren Menzies coming in third. And here they go on their short formation lap. What are you going to be looking for, Phil, as the race starts?
So T1, obviously, and then T2, and then T3, and probably T4, and definitely the chicane. That's my yeah. I think there's things that can go wrong every single corner basically here.
Yeah, and here they come up to the great line. Round 7 is go as the lights go green. James Hartnell closes the door on Paul Sadalaki and cements first place comfortably. They come into the sweeping right-hander that takes up corners 2 and 3 of Zolder.
I am going to red flag it. There's been an incident at the back. It was a bit of a mess. So I'm just going to nip over to the other chat and tell them, just if you will bear with me here.
Yeah, no worries. So, looks like we're going to have a red flag. That is a race restart. We can carry on watching these guys as they're not quite aware yet as they come through the first chicane. And we'll see very shortly. We've had 888 have an incident. Oh, there's been even worse. Well, they're going to be happy there's a restart coming. Ah, there we go. The driver's starting to calm down now. Some are still driving. There we go. Right, race restarted. So another 2 minutes wait. We wait to see what's happened. Hello again.
I am back. They've just reminded me I've got to read all the success penalties. So
Yeah, yes you do. Worst part about calling a restart is having to press type /TP/5 car number over and over again.
indeed.
We're waiting now for another 2 minutes as the drivers are going to rethink what happened. The drivers that did something wrong, you're going to have to rethink what you did. I'm sure for our 2 leaders, they're going to be trying to get into each other's heads at this point. Because James has given away his tactic for the start, and I wonder if Paul's going to try something different. Now waiting. Anticipation. Oh, very enthusiastic flag wavers in the crowd. Of course, their main job is to distract the drivers. They come to the final chicane. Make them think the race is green flagged.
It looks like some of the flags are held by spectators. So there's like a covert band of spectators that have headed down with the wrong coloured flags just to see it all burn.
Yeah. Yeah. Green flag, green flag. I saw green flags. What do you mean it was yellow flagged? I saw green. Of course, one person in this conspiracy hasn't got the memo. They brought a purple flag. Got another 30 seconds to wait. So what did you have a chance to briefly see what happened there, Phil? Or
I don't. If I get a chance later in the race, I've saved the replay, so I might have a little look because there might be penalties. But it wasn't even at the first corner. It looked like coming down the straight, there was a touch and a spin, and it collected a few cars, and then it was taking people a little while to get going again because there were quite a few cars facing the wrong direction.
yeah.
And so yeah.
So we're gonna now we've got 5 seconds until our second race start attempt. As I was saying, I'm wondering if James Hartnell's going to try anything different. Paul has got a second shot at this. If we'll see any different, if they come off the line any quicker this time. Very short lead up to the race start line here at Zolder. Here they come up to the line. And it's a green light. There we go, green light, and we're off. We see James Hardy closes the door once again on Paul. He's just not giving him the opportunity to get past him in any way. What was that? We've got Darren Menzies coming up in third. He's managed to hold on to his position. We've had a couple of changes further down the field as James Armitage has overtaken Lee Hems. In fact, there's quite a lot of changes going on further back the field in the Silvers. Just going to watch now as they all come up to that first chicane, which can be so crucial on these first laps to get right. And watch some of the drivers a bit further down in the pack as they come through. Looks like it's been mostly clean. I just saw someone spin out there. That was Nick Golding.
Yeah, he just got nudged under braking there, so I suspect there might be a penalty coming.
Well, it's one thing when the stewards say they suspect a penalty might be coming. More often means there will be.
I've just realised I'm in free camera. There's like a BMX track in the middle of the forest there. It's quite cool.
Nice. Perhaps if the race gets a bit dull, we can go and watch that instead.
Yes.
So I think everyone's learnt their lesson more or less this time round. We've had a much cleaner start. I can say that now that the leaders have passed the start-finish line.
Yeah. Much better start there. Right, let's see what the old...
Oh, hello, Mara Dvorak has gone wide, it looks like, in turn 1. He's going for relatively tame rejoin, which is good. Howdy Mall and Ryan Greenaway have also spun out. Let's just go... Oh, no, that's the wrong button. See if we can go back and see what's happened here. I've gone too far back. Yes, I have. Oh, I don't think we're going to catch this incident. David Lolleck's overtaken Lee Hems. But Lee Hems is struggling a little bit. He's lost 2 positions. A whole lot going on. I mean, talking about Michael Stevens has gained 6 positions. We're already on lap 2. And very unfortunately, Mara Dvorak lost 20. That's gonna hurt.
It is. Like we were saying earlier, what's going on with Michael Stevens? I think we need some kind of inquiry.
Just apply some grease to his tyres.
Yeah. No, I think we should go round his house, look under his stairs, and check he's not like hired. I don't know, Jimmy Broadbent or something.
Jimmy Broadbent. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, I know you lived in a shed. I know you lived in a shed and you don't like small places. Just get under the stairs. Drive the race. Yeah, I think if it was secretly Jimmy Broadbent, that Porsche would be mint coloured.
True. You're very true.
But he's driving very well. He's 5/10 up on his previous lap. And I suspect we'll see him catch a few more cars. He's definitely applying the pressure right now to Bruce Oos. There's not many opportunities on this racetrack for overtakes. Catch back up with our leading pair as Paul Sadowski and James Hartnell just drive away from everyone else. You can even see it on the track map. There's a distinctive gap between Darren Menzies and Paul Sadowski. But Jamie Armitage is doing quite well for himself. Managed to... It looks like he's slowly starting to escape from David Lollett's clutches. It's the idea of David Lollett driving around with crutches in his car. A bit of a spin. I'm going to go on board now with Michael Stevens because I just want to check if there's any opposite lock being applied at any point. Taking a cheeky look at the inside of Bruce Oos's inside curb. Nothing to be found. Not much opposite lock happening. He's taking this racing lark far too seriously now. Even when he's sliding, he's not applying opposite lock. He's just putting more pedal in. Not on, I'll tell you. It's not on.
Indeed. Also, not on. I have given a little penalty for that spin of Nick at the chicane. It was actually, it was Dave White. He just cut the chicane, and it was a gentle tap. It wasn't a silly dive. It wasn't missing the braking. It was just unfortunate. But it was he that made contact, and it did spin Nick around. So I've stuck 5 seconds on for that. But I don't think it needs to be any more than that.
Well, I'll tell you who's going to make that. Who's going to be quite happy about that is Alexander Goncalves, who's sitting a car back, but he's still within a second. So he's just gained a position off Dave White's mistake, effectively. Still seeing Paul Sadowski and James Hartnell almost bumper to bumper in the lead. Tell you what, it's very impressive how they're able to drive like this, but from a broadcast perspective, it's very frustrating because they constantly stay within 0.2 seconds of each other for 12 laps, and then as soon as you look away, they overtake.
It's the most frustrating thing. We just need all-out action non-stop.
Yeah. Come on, screw up one of you. This is why everyone in F1 is talking about reverse grids. Because they just want to see action. They don't care if it's a competitive result. They just want to see overtaking like crazy.
Ooh. Watching Matt Gale have a little dive down Ryan Greenway a lap or two ago.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So Matt had no overlap at braking. The door was open, but he slid down there and tapped Ryan and span him. So that's another. I think that'll be a 5 seconds there as well.
Oh dear. Well, if anything you've learned, our drivers have learned, is that just because the door is open doesn't mean that you can walk in. Or dive in, as it would be. I have to say, it's really settled down, but Bruce Hoos has just actually overtaken Michael Stevens for 16th place. I think Michael ran a bit wide there. Let's see if we can catch that on the replay. Here they come down the final straight. Having a lot of success with catching these things on the replay, unfortunately. Nope, I've missed it. Oh well. Good.
The replay's not playing ball today.
No, replay work. But I might be able to catch the lead changing hands, and I do just in time as Paul Sadolowski just finds a way through on the inside there. He just got the run on him. That was fantastic pass. Looks to me like looks like Paul's pulling away as well, so really could be taking the race away from him. Lots of pressure going on to pull Pavel Jozwiak. In fact, Cormac Quinn looks... No, that's not Cormac Quinn. That's... Who was that?
Have we got someone mysterious?
Ah, no, it was Pavel Jozwiak overtaking Thomas Pichon. Over on the back straight up to the first chicane there. So if anyone asks, I've managed to catch 2 overtakes so far this race, which is
on a track like this as well.
It's 2 more than I normally would. All getting hot and testy in the silver class lead at the minute. You can see why it's all been so close in the championship standings, as we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in a train following Pavel Jozwiak. He's coming after Javier Farré's job. We've got a pro sandwich at the minute. We've got 2 silvers, Cormac Quinn, 2 silvers.
That sounds delicious.
Yes. And they're all in rear-engined cars as well. Seems that rear-engined cars are definitely on the up and up at the minute. Have been for a while.
Yeah, they are very popular.
I think it's the tyre changes that did it, if anything. That and the Bentley has been hit with the Nerf bat so many times. No, bad boat car. Bad. Stop being so fast. That and the M4. I remember the M4 was the hottest car on the track, and it still is to some extent. As Cormac Quinn comes in the pits, he's like, sod this, I don't want to be in this battle. I'm going to pit early. As he used to do.
I was going to say that. It's not an unfamiliar tactic from Cormac, is it?
Not at all. Not at all.
So, in what must be a record this season, I'm up to date with all the incidents within 20 minutes of the race start.
It's because you threw the first one away and you were like, sod
Yeah.
this, I'm not doing
Yeah.
all these penalties.
I'm not dealing with that.
15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Poor Darren Menzies. He's putting in a fantastic performance and he's 6 seconds behind the person in second. And he's still, like every other race, having to fend off Rich Gasson and Roman Fralla. But he's still... I think, what's his delta to the leader at the minute? He's still within range of getting second because of that 15-second penalty. Jamie Armitage is coming to the pits. He's taking an early pit as well. Not wanting to get undercut by Cormac Quinn. He's an undercut, right? Yeah. Trying to remember which way round it goes. Undercut is first, yeah. Yeah, I remember how to race.
You never lose it.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Sadalowski spun out. This could be it's absolutely disastrous for him. He's now into third, fourth. Not good at all. That's gonna hurt. Let's see if I can catch that on the replay if I go back now. Well, I hope I got this right. Oh, he just takes too much curb and he bounced twice and spins out after the first chicane. That's not the first time he's had an issue there.
Yeah, we saw that in qualifying, didn't we?
Yes. So now he's down into fifth with a 15-second penalty as well. Suddenly, Gabe Halker's looking at this and going and licking his lips because he's got a 5-second advantage.
Ooh, Stephen Kroll has been a slightly naughty boy here.
Uh-oh.
Having a little second chicane, trying to get inside Dave White. Yeah.
Gonna get hit with the naughty boy bat. He's going into the pits as well. Get it in quick, otherwise he's...
It's a race against time.
He's gonna get so annoyed.
What number is he? 75.
Yeah, 75. Oh, he's not gonna be happy about that. He's just got into the pits, and as soon as he gets in, 5-second penalty. You can't change your mind now, Stephen.
Not hide either. I think you can go like hide in the pits. I won't notice where you are.
Oh, James.
And I say maybe he's a super genius, making me work out the penalty super quick. When if I'd spent more time, would it have been 10 seconds?
Well, I imagine he's not going to be appeased with that kind of talk. Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah. So Paul Sadalowski's gone into the pit, so I reckon he's thinking, need new tyres. I would if I'd spun out that much. Alternatively, I mean, I've lost this much time. How much more damage can I do?
But did you see? Oh no! Now Stephen Kroll's got a drive-through.
Oh,
Pit lane speeding. I was about to ask, did the 5 seconds go on properly? Because I was about to add another 5 seconds just in case. But with the drive-through, I think Steve has suffered enough.
he definitely spent a good minute 20 in the pits. which is about 20 seconds longer than most other people. So I think he had some damage as well. So yeah, I think he's suffered enough.
Yeah.
He's dead last with a drive-through. I mean, he's
Yeah.
admittedly, quite a lot of people haven't pitted yet, but yeah. What more is there to say? I mean, this is not the first time I've seen him with a DT next to his name. He seems to suffer from this.
Yeah. These pits are quite difficult. Actually, because we're heading into like more and more people pitting at the moment, I'm surprised we've not yet had an incident of somebody wanting to pit and somebody not wanting to pit, and there being contact, because the braking zones are different for the last corner versus the pit lane.
Yeah.
So you often get a little bit of action.
I've definitely received that kind of action before of someone coming up very quickly behind me in the braking zone because they're like, I just want to go straight ahead. And it's like, yes, but I would like to turn now. Therefore, I need to stop. Yeah, I mean, you've got to pick your moments, haven't you? You've got to be aware of the fact the car in front of you is probably not going to have the same plan as you. I mean, what do? Do you back off, or do you try and you break into the same point? You know.
Yeah.
Got to think about that. Like, is it worth backing off a couple of tenths so that you can just shoot straight into the pit lane, or do you slow down to cornering speed and then accelerate again?
Yeah. It does not, unless you're on the comms or you use your indicators. But not many people do that, especially the BMW drivers.
Especially the BMW drivers. Yeah, so that 15-second... I mean, with that 15-second penalty now, Paul placed himself behind Cormac Quinn, so that would put him around 7th-8th position overall after the pit stops are done. Assuming that Cormac hasn't lost any positions. Which is... you know, could be untrue. James is just overtaking him now for lapping.
Now, what do you think Cormac's going to do about Paul now? Is he going to put up a fight, or is he going to let him past?
That's a good question. I get the feeling that Paul's probably going to force the issue, but the longer he stays behind Cormac, the worse it gets for him, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, Bruce Oos has just taken a slide off the first chicane. The turf there is just going to be dirt by the end of this race because everyone's skidding off into the same place.
Yeah.
Back on now with Paul. He's going side by side with Cormac and he just cleanly gets past. He's just found that acceleration down that straight.
Yeah, but and also I think Cormac let him go, so I'm going to give Cormac a 5-second penalty for being dull.
Earlier we were complaining about not enough overtaking, now we're complaining that there is overtaking.
It's the wrong sort of overtaking.
Not competitive enough. Work harder. But not too hard. Just harder, but not too hard. That's what she said.
There was some debate after the race last week at Nürburgring about, because everything was the wrong way round, how much of a fight should the lower class guys put to the faster tier guys? Because sometimes it makes sense to just let people pass because it's just, you know, you lose time as well, but sometimes it's just bloody good fun trying to keep a platinum driver behind you.
Well,
what do you reckon?
I think that the driver in front has every right to put up as much fight as they want to, whether it makes any rational sense or not. You know, at the end of the day, they're in a race.
Yeah.
I know the Golds probably feel that they should just get out the way, but it's the way it goes. It's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. You know. You qualified
Indeed.
there, you have to get past them. If they're not letting you past, you've got to race them. If
Completely
they...
agree.
You have no right to determine that I should be in front because I'm a class higher than you. And it's just the way it goes. I wouldn't expect any different. I mean, what I would expect is that they will get past very quickly because they're just that much quicker.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
No, I agree with you. I think like sometimes it can make a bit of sense to let somebody pass if you're worried that in defending or they're going to put you off and you're going to make a mistake. But like that's it, that's because how you think it'll affect your race. You're not thinking about their race. It's their
Yeah.
job to get past you safely.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a bit of individual strategy that comes into it, isn't it? You know, do I want to
Indeed.
ruin my own tyres for someone who not really racing in class? But that's... I think you're right. I think it just comes down to the individual and what they want to achieve. I think if I was in the depths of bronze class, which I, to be honest, typically am, if you know, Roman Frala comes up behind me, he's like, "You want to race?" It's like, well, I might try it on for a bit, but
Hmm.
I'm not expecting much. Talking of Roman Frala, he's he got yellow flagged and has disappeared. Oh, alright, he's gone back to pits.
Oh
I
dear.
wonder what happened there.
Well, I think it looks like he's quitting. He's
Yeah.
disappeared.
He takes one chicane, two chicanes, and turns right. That didn't look like him spinning out to me. That looked like someone who had to go.
Dave White. I'm not sure whether he was trying to pit or not. He's ended up in the pits.
I did see him just briefly go past when Mario was pitting, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I'd actually seen what I saw. Let's just go back on board. So he's behind a driver, and that. Oh dear! You know that situation we were talking about?
It happened.
It happened. So you may want to review that because there was no contact made,
Right.
but I think it was a dangerous situation.
Okay. I thought you were saying I should review it because it was funny, but okay, dangerous situation.
Well, it's also funny.
Right, let's try and have a look at that then.
Oh, Matt Gale making friends with the wall, having a bit of a spin. Darren Menzies having to make his way around some blue flaggers with Rich Gasson in tow. And Rich Gasson's no longer in tow. He's parked in the middle of the track. That solves that problem for Darren Menzies. Got a new problem now, though, called Gabe Hauker.
What happened to Rich? I missed that. Did he make a mistake?
Yeah, he got chicaned.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Took a slide. Getting a bit of order changes now as people make their way into the pits at last. Darren Menzies, James Hartnell, Gabe Halker all going to the pits at the same time. So. Ooh. Oh, right. Well, they're so close, they're disappearing on camera. But Rich Casson's back in first, so he's got a bit of time, bit of clear air to try and gain some much needed time. But I expect he'll be going into the pits very shortly himself.
Yeah. I think he just stayed out to feel what it's like to be in first position this week. I mean, he's been so used to being right at the front all this season, and then he gets bumped down the order a little bit.
Yeah.
He's probably smarting just a tiny bit.
Tiny amount. Was it him who drove the Lexus last season or the season before, or was it Harper? I think it was Harper that was driving the Lexus, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was Rich.
In the... Yes. No, it was one of the Lexus. It was the Honda. It was Ryan Harper in the Honda. That's what I'm trying to remember. We just ran away with the race at Watkins Glen because that's the track he loves so much. Pavel Jozvik has found himself in first, at least temporarily. They get the order all changed up now as drivers are going in, taking their success penalties.
Jovic and Lolek resolutely refusing to pit.
Yeah. So now we go on board with Michael Stevens at this course. He's made his way up to fourth, which is just under par. Sorry, correction, just over par as he comes into the first hole. This caused so many of our players today some grief. And up to the second hole. Let's see if he just takes a slight, very close there to entering a bunker, but manages to avoid it as he chases down Dieter V. Slightly concerned that I was speaking so quietly and the engine note was so loud there that nobody's going to hear what I said.
I mean, I heard you loud and clear. It was
Yeah.
lovely timbre to your voice doing the golf commentary.
Need to get it in at least once this season.
Yeah.
We haven't done it very much. Bring back the Stevens golf commentary.
Going to keep an eye on Stevens when he comes back out of the pits, because something went a bit funny at the pit line there. I'm not sure if he had a problem with his pit limiter or his gears, but
Uh-oh.
jumped a little bit.
Someone's getting a DT.
Oh, he might get away with it. He didn't like zoom off or anything like that. It just seemed a bit funny.
See what happened. Oh. Well, he said he looked like he came in quickly to me. He definitely was on the brakes after the pit limit board. So we could be looking at a drive-through penalty for Michael Stevens. Still got our last holdouts on the pit, so...
Oh, Lolek's got to stop, go 30.
Oh dear. What's he done?
Must be another pit issue.
Yeah,
and Michael.
There we go. I think both drivers just missed where the pit board was.
Yeah. Concentrating on each other, I think.
Yeah. I'm just going to shake things up a little bit. Just waiting now. So Pavel Jozvik has finally come into the pits. And it's the last holdouts of Bruce Oos and Dieter Vanderbrand. And Bruce is coming in now. And he makes the pit line. Pavel Jozvik's in. Dieter Vanderbrand still out. looks like we're going to have James Hartnell coming into pole. And if I have to guess, it's going to be Darren Menzies, followed by Rich Gasson and Paul Sadalowski, who's starting to climb his way back up there. He's got 20 minutes to try and catch up with James.
Probably shouldn't say this is the scrupulously fair and independent steward, but I was quite glad that Paul Sadlowski crashed because he's got a good job on now. He'll make up some spaces and see where he can get to.
Yeah, obviously it's going to get harder and harder as he moves further up the field because obviously the driving caliber vastly improves. Oh, he's taking that chicane so aggressively, so aggressively.
Oh, there's been an incident at the chicane just in front of him.
Stephen Kral. Stephen Kral in the dirt. Oh, and he's gone.
Oh, I was just about to give him a lot of credit for sticking with this race after the horrendous day so far. But yeah, I think that was just one mistake too many.
Yeah, well, you get the good feeling even after the first one of making your way back up. You start feeling good about yourself again, and then you just get one mistake, and it feels like no matter what you do, it's done.
Yeah.
I could certainly understand that frustration. Carlos Barros has just overtaken Thomas Pichon into 13th. Dieter Van Brabant finally pits. And Marek Dvorak spins on the final corner. And gets overtaken there by Carlos Barros and what I think is Thomas Pichon. No, it must have been Bruce. No, who is that? That's Thomas Pichon overtaking now.
Yeah. Eddie and Carlos got past him, and then Pichon just after.
I think it was a lapping. I think that's Bruce lapping, actually. I could be mistaken. Actually, no, it's Eddie Wilkins. Their liveries look so similar. At least from the helicopter cam. I have to say, Zolder seems like one of those tracks that would be quite good to watch as a spectator because of all the chicanes.
Yeah. And the BMX track in the middle.
Yeah. You can always go back to the BMX track.
Yeah.
Although, I'm going to be honest, after our experience at Brands Hatch in September of all times, when it was blisteringly hot, I look at a racetrack now and my entire body goes hot. Like, why do I feel so warm all of a second? Sudden.
Do you think Gabe would be as keen to get us on the BMX race as he was to try and get us into the go-karts, which unfortunately weren't running at the time at Brands Hatch, but he was very keen to have a bit of in real live competition. I wonder what it'd be like on a BMX.
He was proper keen about it, wasn't he? He was I was up for that.
Yeah.
Although I know what was going to happen. It would be Gabe in front. You'd just be like almost predict the order from these races.
Yeah. Super competitive.
Yeah. We're just kind of waiting now to see what happens with Paul Sadalowski and Pavel Josvik overtakes Cormac Quinn. I think Pavel is hankering for a promotion. He's getting well up into the mixing in with the pro class now. Oh, Michael Stevens now in 24th after that top go 30. Gonna hurt.
I'm over here watching the Wilkins Barros Pichon mini train, but I'm mainly watching it because I think someone's going to crash. But also, it's quite a close race.
Yeah, it's definitely a train. Edwin Wilkins got 11 seconds of gap in front of him, but only second and a half. Oh, Thomas.
Pichon.
Yeah, definitely something happened. That's for sure.
He chicaned it.
He chicaned it. Yeah, Edwin Wilkins. He's still fending off Carlos Barros though. We've got Carlos to deal with. Carlos is looking. You can see he's looking.
Yeah.
But can I get in that gap? Right, let's go on board with Carlos now on his bonnet. He looks to chase down Edward Wilkins. It's quite interesting actually watching a BMW chasing down a Lamborghini. Oh, sorry. Yes, it is a Lamborghini. I'm so used to the old Lamborghini. I look at it and go, no, that can't possibly be the Lamborghini. Oh, he's looking to go around the outside. Ooh. Okay. Twitch back time? Not quite. Wilkins holding on to that. Carlos getting a little bit surprised by the breaking point. He's looking for a run.
Out there, in either the next two chicanes, these two are going to crash.
Yeah, okay. That's the prediction. So, oh, he avoids the... he doesn't take a single ounce of curb there.
Yeah. That's a very cautious chicane, actually, from Carlos there, so...
It's almost like he heard you.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wilkins having a bit of a... His rear tyres aren't as grippy as they once were, and I think it's catching him. He's struggling with it. Carlos, like, once again, he's just all over him. But now he's getting Mara Dvorak all over him. Gonna be a range sword soon enough. Yeah, Marek is 2/10 up on Carlos on the previous lap, and 2/10 up on Eddie as well. So
yeah, Eddie Carter's does not look well planted at the moment. You're right.
Yeah, he's all over the place. No, I'm the wrong driver there. Right. That's interesting. Lamborghini just uses a camera as a rearview mirror.
You're not going to see out the back of it easily, are you? Oh,
No,
Carlos,
I suppose not.
He's got him now. Or not. Eddie's not giving up.
Oh, he's not. He's definitely having to fight for it. Right, let's see if anything happens in this chicane. This chicane has taken out so many drivers now. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Entertain me. Actually, to be fair, this battle is pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
On its own merits.
But it's just going to be one of those, next time you go away, all the action and spice and fireworks will happen.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to go check what's happening up the front, but the gaps is now getting so big, you know. Paul Sadalowski, even though he set the fastest lap of the race, he's not really gaining anymore on Rich Gasson, as far as I can tell. And the only other battle that's going on is Bruce Hoos and Nick Golding. with Matt Keys. So I'm going to try and pick my moment to just check in on them as they... But the problem is I know that last lap on this next corner was where all the action started, so see what happens. Right, is anything going to happen at this chicane? Yeah, Carlos is probably most definitely starting to feel sandwiched at this point. It's Marek. You see how Marek's just coming right behind him now.
Eddie really struggles out of this second chicane. Every time he's struggling to get his power down.
Right. I can't tell if Carlos is looking for a gap though, or is he just taking a wider line? Because he does it consistently.
Yeah. Oh, Carlos.
Oh, Marek's going for it.
Carlos slightly outbraked himself there, so had a weird line through that last chicane. Eddie got away, and Marek right on him.
Holding on to it just about. Thomas, in the meantime, Thomas Bichon's overtaken Dieter van Brabant up into 13th. Which is actually the position immediately behind Marek, but 10 seconds back. Gonna check in now with Matt Keys as he fends off Bruce Oose and Nick Golding. We've got a bronze, silver, pro reverse mini grid going on here. Yeah, it looks like Bruce is getting the better of Matt Keys. There's a bit of touch. Oh, and he loses out to Nick Golding as well. Oh, there's another touch. Oh, they're all getting back in the right order now. Nick Golding's overtaken Bruce Oose, who's overtaken Matt Keys. And they've come out the first chicane without dying. Well, that was interesting. Nick Golding taking full advantage of the chaos. Let me check back in with Ed Wilkins and the Carlos Barros battle. It looks like it's calmed down a little bit more now. Just going to check in briefly with Michael Stevens as he has fallen down the order. Is now chasing down Don't Speak English for 23rd position. When will he make the pass? Right now, as it happens. Well done. That was a very short interlude there. As we go back now to Carlos Barros chasing down Ed Wilkins, and he's managed to get right back up behind him. And he might get the inside coming into this chicane. Oh, he doesn't quite go for it. But Ed has to take a very sharp line through that chicane. I'm no doubt we're potentially looking at a track cut there.
Yeah.
Question is, time gained or not? He definitely had the track cut though. His lap time's gone red. Can't keep doing that, Ed. You've got to try and find some grip somewhere. Question is Ed going to be saved by Marek Dvorak of Lamb Chops again? I would suggest he might. Because once again, Marek is setting a lap time that's faster than both of these drivers, but he's still 1.2 seconds behind.
Carlos very nearly rear-ended Eddie there at the
Yeah,
chicane.
he did. And he had to take a wider line. And once again, he's going to get under pressure from Marat Dvorak. He's just ping-ponging between them. I was about to say he's, you know, he must have such patience because he's having to get right up behind Ed Wilkins, put pressure on him. And that must be so frustrating. Keeps making these tiny little errors that are costing him time and therefore a chance at the position. It looks like Ed Wilkins has had to slow down for some reason. We could get a three-way battle coming into the final straight. Oh, he's got a good run out of that last corner, has Ed. Has Carlos. But he's positioned for the outside. Ed Wilkins is positioned for the inside, and he's just going to hold on to it. At least for now. Again, positioning for the inside of the track. And he's just forcing Carlos to just have to brake.
Yeah.
To make the corner.
This is actually really good from both drivers.
Yeah.
Carlos clearly the quicker driver because Eddie's struggling in his car, but Eddie knows how to defend fairly, and Carlos is giving him respect. So here comes the punt after saying that.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like they're both braking with plenty of time this time. Marek also having to brake much earlier than normal. Of course, he's got two cars in front of him that are entering the braking zone. He's just like a... He's like a viper just waiting to pounce for the minute. Waiting to strike. All it takes is one little mistake from either Carlos or Ed or both. He gains two positions. But the challenge, of course, for him is he's just got to stay there. Keep putting the pressure on. You know, as much as I'm impressed by ACC's general sound design, after seeing these cars live, I can't help every time they go past going, oh, where's the engine note gone?
Yeah.
Where's the crack as they downshift into the corner?
It's the cracks, the pops. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Carlos has got the inside this time. Oh, he just loses a bit of grip.
Both losing grip, aren't they? Yeah.
He's had to take some marbles, but he's got the inside line, and I think he's going to get it this time. He is. He finally makes his way past Ed Wilkins. And Marek Dvorak is looking to repeat that. He's got the inside line coming into the chicane. I just think his tyres are just a bit too tired now. Bit of tongue twister. Carlos is finally away. He's finally got the space he wanted. Question is Marek Dvorak going to hold on to this? I think he is. Yeah, I mean, Ed put down a fantastic defense, but I think he just ran out of grip. Peter Van Brabant goes spinning. Not much going on up in the lead of the race, unfortunately.
Don and Matt Gale have just had to come in together. Don just lost it. He went too wide at that hairpin at the end and lost it coming back on track, and Matt collected him.
Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. I mean, most other positions in the race, they've got a pretty healthy gap. James Hartnell must feel like he's going on a parade, as probably does Darren and Rich. Fastest lap. I mean, I think our fastest two laps in the last two laps have been Rich Gasson and Paul Sadalowski, but they just don't have the time left in the race to do anything with it.
Yeah. I was giving Rich a bit of a hard time earlier, but actually Paul Sadalowski has not managed to chase him down at all. Rich has sort of kept that gap, and yeah.
Well, he's been setting very similar times.
Yeah.
If we had another 10 minutes, or even 15, we might actually see Rich catch Darren, but Darren's just built a big enough lead that it's not going to matter. Even then, there's no guarantee an overtake would happen. Seems all our drivers are really starting to struggle with that chicane and the grip coming out of it. Dave White, did you review that incident with not incident, near incident with Dave White?
I couldn't quite get it properly on the replay, and I didn't want to mess with the software. I will have a look at it afterwards.
Okay.
Was your view at the time that he inconvenienced? I know he didn't hit anybody, did he? But that it was a bit dangerous to get on another car.
Well, it was that classic scenario of the pit entry we were talking about,
Yeah.
and he had to maneuver to avoid, and he went up the inside, and he was very lucky that the driver in front who was turning just didn't accelerate very quickly. That's what I can tell. But
Yeah.
obviously he got away with it. But I'm very interested to see what your opinion of it would be had he hit, in a way. Disaster for Thomas Pichon as the last lap of the race. He spins out on that first chicane corner. That's brought so many drivers out and loses position to Alexander Goncalves. Probably, no doubt, was not expecting that to happen. So now we join James Hartnell as he cool and collectively makes his way for his last half a lap. He's been nothing but consistent this entire race. He obviously lost that position at the very start to Paul Sadalowski, but through good fortune and consistent driving, he's managed to hold on to first. And he comes into first. That's Darren Menzies in second. Rich Gasson in third. Paul Sadalowski in fourth. Gabe Parker fifth. And we're just waiting for the leader of the silver class, Pavel Jozwiak. He's going to be making his way around now. Followed by Cormac Quinn. And looks like Jamie Armitage. Take, and we're just waiting for the. Okay, we just got the bronze class through. Dieter Van Brabant takes first for the bronze class. Carlos Barros holds that position over Marat Dorvac and Ed Wilkins. Everyone goes to the dirt to get out of the way. We've got a couple more drivers coming through now. Looks like Nick Golding and Bruce Oos on that battle. Nick Golding not able to get past Bruce. So, there we have it. James Hartnell takes first for the Silvers, first overall, followed by Darren Menzies and Rich Gasson in third. First in the silver class, Pavel Jozwiak, and first in the bronze class, Dieter Van Brabant. It was a good race, wasn't it, Phil?
It was. I enjoyed that. It was a relatively quiet race for me. I was just totting up the incidents. I only gave out 5-second penalties like 3 times, and that was it. So a nice clean race. Meant that I got to spend time with you watching it live, which is always pleasant.
Yeah.
And yeah, some good racing and a debutant winner. I don't think James has raced with us before, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to place the replay on in the background. of the highlights, and we will drag our esteemed winners into the chat now so that we can talk to them about their race.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hello.
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 You are now all in the commentary booth.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
For race interviews.
So, as is tradition, we'll start with a bronze class winner, which is Dieter van Brabant. Welcome, Dieter. He's probably gone to the loo.
No. I was just switching push the dog off.
Okay, he is here. So, Dieter, talk us through your race.
The beginning was pretty good, pretty consistent. Second half, well, lots of mistakes, but kept it in first place in bronze, so that's good.
Yeah, any highlights for you in particular?
Not really. It was a struggle to keep it faultless, but
You took first position qualifying for your class by quite a way, but ended up having a bit of a struggle. You were saying in the second half. What was that like? Tire performance or setup?
no, just mistakes. The chicane got me a couple of times, spun around, and in the end I was struggling with the tires, I think. So, but after all, pretty decent race.
Okay, fantastic. So our silver class winner is Pavel Joswick. I hope you're saying your name right, because I've been
Yep.
saying it like that for the last
Yeah.
55 minutes.
Could be.
Welcome.
You're not butchering it.
Good. Yeah, welcome. Congratulations on the win. You had a pretty commanding race. You started pretty up there with Thomas Pichon. Can you just talk us through the overtake with Thomas and what happened?
Yeah, my goal was to stay behind him as long as possible because I knew that he was having a 15 seconds penalty, so it was my goal for the first stint, and he just did a mistake on one corners, and I took an advantage of it and passed him. And after that, my second goal for this first stint was to stay as long as possible, just to keep distance behind, and just to keep my fresh tire for the second stint. And it paid off. I went from the pits just before the Jamie, who was second after that time, and I saw that I have a couple of second advantage, and for the second stint it was just keep the pace and keep out of trouble, and it paid off as well. So I'm quite happy because it was finally a race without any major mistakes from my side. So good race overall.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that it all paid off. I obviously did, but it's nice when the plan works as well.
Yeah, exactly. My plan was to qualify first, of course, but I have one of the laps I had 4 tenths on green on my delta, but I fucked off last chicane, I believe, and the plan blows up. But fortunately, Thomas, who qualifies first, has 15 seconds penalty, so overall, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, not my fault. So okay, yeah. So congrats on the win. I think you were pretty up for just from memory. I think you were pretty far up in the standings anyway.
Yeah, like I said, it was just first of my race, which is not so bad for me because previous ones I always had some issues with my car, with my tires, or with my performance. So this is the first race in this season which I can tell that there were no major mistakes from me and no major issues.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So we'll move on now to our overall and gold class winner, which is James Hartnell, which I believe is your first race, James.
It is. Yeah, thank you. I just want to thank the community for having me. It was a very warm welcome yesterday, and it was good fun racing today.
Can we just confirm that's your first race with DGSR and not your first race ever? Because if it is your first race ever, you just made a lot of people look really rubbish.
No, it's yeah, my first race with the community. It was really good.
So you qualify on pole by tiniest amount of seconds. You and
2000s.
yeah, you and Paul are in both starts. You are neck and neck, and you manage to close the door on him. But you just get overtaken. What happened in that moment where Paul came past you? Because it seemed like you had him pretty down on lock for a lot of the laps.
Yeah. Look, I wanted to take the pressure off myself, to be honest. Paul's very, very fast. And Zolder is one of those tracks where you've got a couple of chicanes and braking areas where ABS can lock up and you can end up in the back of the guy in front without wanting to. He had a 15-second penalty, so I just took the pressure off myself. I just let him. I just sort of just fed the throttle. I think was coming down to the hairpin towards the end. Let him take it, and I thought, no, let's just stay. He's got to do all the hard work, and I'll let him pull me around. And yeah, it worked. He, still put him under pressure, and he made a mistake at the chicane, which I did loads of in the second half of the race. But yeah.
Yeah, and we certainly saw that as he, very unfortunately for him, fell down into fifth and kept the 15-second penalty. So yeah, that's definitely hurt. But you seem like you were. Unfortunately, we didn't really see much of you on the stream because as so often happens when someone's a leader and they don't have anyone following them for another couple of seconds, they don't get much attention. So you said that there were a few mistakes from yourself.
Yeah, in the in the chicane, I stuffed it into the wall twice. I finished with 15 seconds of damage. And I think it was Daz behind me, and I thought, yep. After the pit stop, I got a nice gap, and I thought, yeah, this is easy. Of course, and then he just fuck everything up from there on in, and he got closer and closer and closer, and he was down to less than 2 seconds at the end, and I thought, that's it, it's game over. I think we were coming through traffic, and I just want to say the back markers are fantastic. Even if they were racing, they were very gracious and in letting us through. They were brilliant.
Yeah, well, we do pride ourselves on close but fair racing. And I think everyone we've got so ingrained with our penalty system now that I think most people have realised that it's just not worth it.
Yeah, indeed. No, it was really good, and very competitive as well. All the way you could see throughout the whole thing. There were lots of battles going on, and I got a good start and got away and stuff, but that won't happen every race. And the Porsche is relatively strong-ish here. I think Spa next week, if the Porsche is pretty mediocre, to be honest. It just doesn't have the top speed to fight on equal terms if other people get in front. So that'll be much more of a challenge.
Yeah, no doubt. As we've seen many times before, the Porsche just getting out drag raced on any particular long straight. But yeah, congrats on your win. Any final comments?
No, thank you to the community. It looks like a great bunch of guys, and I look forward to more races next season.
Well, very welcome, and congrats on your win. Any comments from you, Phil?
It was a really impressive debut, wasn't it? Looking forward to some more battles at the front for you, James, and congratulations to Pavel and Dieter for sterling class victories. You two are fairly familiar faces in either in the commentary box or on the top three rungs of the podium. So yeah, nice one, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I will now send you back into the general chat. So, ta-ra, guys.
Bye.
Yes, thanks.
Well, what a fantastic race it was at Zolder. I was not expecting that many battles and overtakes to actually be happening at Zolder. It's caught me by surprise.
Yeah, it was a good race on a tricky track. We had plenty to keep us going through the whole race, but like yeah, no awful incidents as I said before, just great racing.
Yeah. So that has been round 7.
Yeah.
Just trying to remember. Round 7 of Zolder of DGSR Season 10. Spa next week. It's going to be a corker. Who doesn't love Spa? Well, maybe some of the drivers. But we look forward to seeing the Stevens Kink back in action. And we will see you next week. This has been Zolder. Thank you very much for joining us. And see you soon.
Yeah.